I'm Stacy and welcome to the Retro Time Machine. And today we're going to be taking old Christmas trees and turning them into Christmas cookies. Don't know what to do with your live Christmas tree now that the holidays are over? Well, I am going to show you how to turn it into some pine sugar. And with that pine sugar, we are going to make some amazing shortbread cookies that taste just like how a Christmas tree smells. I know it sounds a little strange, but it is a great way to wrap off or start out the holidays. Start off by washing your tree branches in warm water and making sure that they are nice and dry, moving on to this next step. I like to make a big batch of this pine sugar. It lasts for at least a year or so. That way I only have to make it every now and then, but we're gonna strip off the little leaves just like this. If you get a few tiny branches in, it's not a big deal, but you definitely wanna go for the branches that have that green fragrant smell. I like using a noble fir personally. I like the taste and the smell that it gives to the sugar. If you're making this in a small batch, you really only need a quarter or a third of a cup of pine needles per cup of sugar. But like I said, I like to make it in a big batch so I don't have to worry about it. I prefer using my food processor for this. I think if you're making a small batch, you could probably do it in a blender. What I've learned when making pine sugar is you're really going to go off of the color. You can see it starts off with just the needles and the sugar, and then it starts to combine and change colors. What you're looking for is something like Grinch green, and you'll see the water kind of building at the top from the moisture from the pine. This is what fresh pine sugar looks like, and this is what pine sugar looks like after it's aged a bit. Now let's make those shortbread cookies. So we are going to start off with a cup of softened butter, and we are going to be adding in a cup of our pine sugar. Once you have everything all measured out, go ahead and cream your butter and sugar together till it's all blended up and smells absolutely amazing. So to bring out all those flavors, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of allspice, and we are also going to add 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. And to finish off with our dry ingredients, we are going to be adding 2 cups of all-purpose flour. If you are doing a double batch, I would recommend adding in 1 egg, because when you start to mix this up, it will seem like it is turning into a dry, crumbly mess. But it is not. It will actually hold together pretty well once you get your hands in there and start packing that shortbread dough together. I know an egg isn't really called for in most recipes, but in double batches, I would recommend it. Now this ingredient could be considered optional. This is candied ginger, and you can find it in your bulk foods aisle. We're going to need 1/3 of a cup. I highly recommend adding it though, because it adds a great moisture content to a relatively dry shortbread cookie. Once you have diced up all your ginger, you are going to go ahead and add that into your cookie dough and blend it in like some little spicy chocolate chips. So this is my favorite hack when making any cookie that you're going to be using a cookie cutter on. You want to put out a manageable portion of the cookie dough and then push it to the middle of the wax paper. Then you're going to fold the wax paper over and take your rolling pin and roll that out as flat and as thick as you want the cookies. Now you can do 5 or 6 of these, and then you put this in the refrigerator to chill. It chills a lot faster, and then you can work 1 sheet at a time so you're not having to worry about the cookie dough getting warm and sticky. It's perfect. Now the fun begins. You get to pick out your cookie cutter and what shapes you're going to use for these delicious fir shortbread cookies. So I am opting for traditional Christmas tree and star shapes. You really want to make sure you use the most out of your cookie dough. So you want to position it off to the side and get the most out of it. Press down firmly on all edges of the cookie cutter and give it a little wiggle. That wiggle can sometimes lead to a perfect cookie popping out. I love that. Now, one of my reasons why I love using the Christmas tree cookie cutter is that it doesn't have to be a perfect Christmas tree. You can save so much dough and make so many cute Whoville-shaped Christmas trees by just not worrying about filling the whole cookie cutter. And they come out unique, beautiful, and just as delicious. Having a small cookie cutter is a great way to use up the rest of the dough, and do not forget to save your scraps, chill those, and roll them back out again and keep cutting. You are going to bake these at 350 for about 10 minutes. Watch for the edges to turn brown. I know they're a bit experimental, but they are one of my most requested Christmas treats. I hope you guys had a fabulous holiday and a happy new year. Like always, take care and God bless.